Hi, this is a webinar on the Account Owner functions in the Setup tab in the ThinkWave system. First, click on the Setup tab. At the bottom, you'll see the Account Owner functions. These are important functions available only to the administrator that allow you control over your ThinkWave system. Click on Additional Administrators. This allows you to invite a user to have administrator control over the ThinkWave system. Click on Add next to Additional Administrators. This will create a 16-digit access code that you then give to the user to allow them administrator access. Once they have the access code, they will go to the thinkwave.com homepage. Then they would click on Start First Time here. They then fill out their username, password, their email, and then here is where they would enter their access code that you gave them. Then click New Account. If they already have a teacher account, then they can add administrator access to that account below here. And back to the Setup and Additional Administrators. Once the new administrator sets up their account, the access code you gave them becomes their username. If you need to delete that administrator account, you can do that by clicking here. You can have as many administrators as you need. Back to the Setup tab, and click on Lock and Unlock. This gives you the option to lock the data for the school year. So that way, when a school year is finished, you can lock the data so that it can't be changed. But if you need to go back and make any adjustments, you still have the option to unlock it. Back to the Setup tab, and click on Rollover. This is the rollover function to carry the data from one year to another. This will copy over students, classes, and settings. Students will be moved to the new appropriate grade levels, courses, groups, and custom fields are also copied, as well as many of the settings. First, select which direction you want to roll over the data to. You can roll over to the next year, or you can roll over to the previous year and enter historical data. You can do this at any time, so for instance, if you want to start setting up the new school year early, you don't have to wait for the school year to end. We will roll over to the next school year. Here is where you can adjust or confirm the start and end dates for the school year and the semesters. You can change this later after the school year has been created, so don't worry if you run into issues with selecting the dates. Now click Next. Here's where you select the default action for rolling over the grade levels. Since we're rolling forward, all the grade levels should roll over to the next grade. So kindergarten to first grade to second grade, etc. You also have the option to have students without grade levels assigned to leave it that way. And finally, for students graduating out of the school, you can select Do Not Copy Student. Make sure all the fields are filled out. Once complete, select Next. Here you can select either Copy Class Enrollment or Not to Copy Class Enrollment. Since in most cases students have to enroll in new classes for the new year, you typically wouldn't want to copy class enrollment, but you have the option to copy the class enrollment for all the classes or just select classes if you want to. Here you can select whether to copy group enrollment, so for instance, it's the baseball team or the band. Here you can select whether to copy the custom fields created. Since most of these custom fields do not change, you would want to select Copy. If the field is associated with a custom group, and you're not copying over that group, then you'll want to select Do Not Copy for that custom field as well. Like for instance, we will not copy over the data for the group athletes. But since it has a custom field of uniforms, then you'll want to make sure to not copy the uniforms as well. When all the fields have been entered, select Next. Now you have the chance to finalize to complete the rollover. If you want to change any of the rollover data, you can click on the links to that section here. Once the rollover is complete, select the new year from the top pull-down, and you can browse all the data to make sure it's correct. Once you feel all the data is correct, then select Certify Rollover from the pull-down menu. Select that the start and end dates are correct. Then select that the students, grade levels, and custom fields have been copied correctly. You still have the ability to change this after certifying the rollover. And here you can select whether to make the new year available to teachers, students, and parents. So if, for instance, you want to turn off access to the new year before the current year is complete, then you can select to not provide access. Then select Finalize the rollover and click Finalize. And these are the Account Owner functions in the Setup tab on the ThinkWave system. Thanks for watching.